Did you know that there is a region in the United States where individual farms can be 5 times larger than New York City, operating like self-contained nations? This is North America, home to an agricultural system that has reached an unprecedented scale, generating over $1 trillion in revenue every year. So what has enabled this land to achieve such a remarkable feat, despite increasingly extreme weather conditions and historic wildfires? In this video, join Agriculture Insight as we go straight to the heart of North American agriculture, where massive farms are not powered by luck, but by technology, mechanization, automation, and precision farming, forming an agricultural machine of a scale and efficiency never before seen in human history. The first stop on our journey into North American agriculture begins with the pheasant, a bird that embodies wildness, standing on the fragile boundary between human control and nature. Once a prized target of aristocratic hunts, pheasants gradually entered organized breeding systems with the rise of modern agriculture. The journey begins with eggs, carefully collected by hand and incubated for 24 days. Newly hatched chicks emerge with soft brown gold down, fragile in appearance, yet already displaying the alert instincts of a wild bird. They are swiftly moved into enclosed brooding facilities where temperature, lighting, and humidity are precisely controlled to guide them through this critical adaptation stage. As they enter group rearing, large-scale farms in the United States use beak guards to reduce injuries caused by natural competitive behavior, while still allowing normal feeding and movement. Once fully grown, pheasants are transferred to spacious enclosures designed to mimic natural habitats, preserving their wild traits before being raised for commercial purposes or released back into the wild. At the second stop, we enter the modern agricultural system of crocodile farming, where primal fear is transformed into high-end economic value. Once a wild reptile, the crocodile has become a source of luxury leather for fashion houses such as Hermes and Louis Vuitton, sustaining a global market worth approximately $3 billion each year. In North America, crocodile farming follows a modern agricultural model, prioritizing environmental control and quality optimization rather than relying on crude, natural methods. Crocodiles are raised in closed farming systems with artificial ponds designed to mimic their natural habitats, allowing stable growth while remaining easy to manage. From the earliest reproductive stage, eggs and hatchlings are separated and raised under tightly controlled conditions, including temperature, water quality, and sanitation, to reduce risk and significantly improve survival rates. As they grow, crocodiles are sorted by size into separate enclosures to minimize conflict and territorial competition. Their diet is strictly regulated, with fresh meat serving as the primary food source, supplying the protein necessary for muscle development. In addition, large watermelons are periodically added to their diet to aid hydration, support digestion, and help regulate body temperature during hot conditions. Leaving the world of crocodiles behind, the journey takes us to tobacco farms, where a plant controversial for its nicotine content quietly sustains an entire economic chain spanning agriculture, industry, and trade across North America. Here, tobacco is not merely a crop, but a tightly regulated commodity, as farmers are permitted to grow and sell it only to legally licensed enterprises. In the field, labor has nearly disappeared. Specialized harvesting machines move through rows of head-high plants, precisely cutting mature leaves and gently placing them onto conveyor belts to preserve their shape and natural moisture. Harvesting takes place only between 5 and 9 a.m., when temperatures remain stable between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius, ensuring the leaves retain optimal biological condition. Immediately after cutting, the leaves are transferred into large, ventilated containers mounted behind the machines to prevent heat buildup and premature fermentation. Thanks to this closed and highly controlled process, each machine can harvest approximately 5 tons of fresh leaves per day, achieving productivity up to 10 times higher than manual labor. The tobacco leaves then undergo further rigorous processing before entering the global supply chain, becoming a vital link in North American agriculture. Despite its delicate appearance, the lily is in fact one of the world's most profitable flowers, generating annual revenues of around $500,000 thanks to high-tech greenhouse systems that operate with the precision of a semiconductor production line. The journey of a lily does not begin in the field, but with a carefully selected bulb from the Netherlands, where generations have been selectively bred for uniformity, resilience, and precise blooming that meet strict commercial standards. Before ever reaching North America, these bulbs travel halfway around the world and undergo weeks of cold treatment at 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. A sophisticated biological deception that convinces the plant winter has ended and rapid growth should begin. Next, the lily enters a completely artificial environment. Inside modern greenhouses, the plant no longer depends on natural soil or weather, but grows in sterile substrates where pH levels and drainage are controlled down to the finest detail. Here, control belongs to humans. Farmers do not wait for plants to grow by instinct. They actively manipulate light, temperature, and nutrition to determine stem height and the exact moment when flower buds begin to open. Finally, when every parameter reaches its optimal threshold, lilies are cut while the buds are still closed, placed onto automated conveyor systems, rapidly cooled, sorted, and transferred directly to processing facilities. The next stage of the journey takes us to vast sweet potato fields, where beneath rich brown soil lie massive tubers, some as large as a watermelon. Thanks to exceptionally high yields, each hectare can generate revenues of up to $300,000 per harvest. In North America, sweet potato harvesting clearly reflects the level of modern agriculture. Specialized automated harvesters are engineered to dig and lift the tubers with high precision, minimizing damage. The sweet potatoes are then transferred onto conveyor systems, where integrated cleaning units continuously remove soil, keeping the surface of each tuber clean and intact. Right in the field, the harvest undergoes preliminary sorting before being loaded into large containers or linked transport systems. Through this closed and efficient process, farmers significantly reduce manual labor, shorten harvest time, and ensure consistent, stable product quality. More than 30% of North America's commercial plantation forests are covered by pine trees. Pine is not only an economic backbone and the soul of the holiday season, but also a silent ecological shield, protecting vast landscapes from environmental degradation. As a result, pine cultivation is anything but simple. Pine is a tree that demands rare patience. On average, a pine tree requires 9 to 10 years to reach maturity, a time span comparable to the training of a PhD. Only when it reaches a height of approximately 1.8 to 2.4 meters is the tree considered ready for harvest and fit to appear in the holiday season. Depending on its intended use, pine trees follow 2 distinct paths. Traditionally, harvested trees are cut close to the base for industrial purposes, while trees extracted with their entire root ball intact are reserved for decorative use, particularly as Christmas trees. Before leaving the forest, all branches are passed through specialized netting machines that compress the tree into a slender shape, protecting the needles and reducing transport volume. In rugged terrain, helicopters are deployed to airlift bundled trees out of the forest, bringing to a close the long journey of a species that may seem familiar, yet is shaped by discipline, technology, and time. Once seen as a symbol of deforestation due to its rapid expansion for animal feed, soybeans in North America now play a very different role. Through scientific crop rotation on existing farmland, this crop not only restores soil health, but also generates more than $100 billion in annual revenue, becoming a pillar of modern agriculture. Under the late-season sun, combine harvesters move into the fields like pre-programmed machines. Their headers are lowered close to the ground, gliding through rows of soybeans with remarkable precision, causing the entire field to fall in a uniform rhythm. Immediately after cutting, the plants are drawn into the machine, where threshing and separation systems work continuously to release each soybean from its pod without compromising quality. The remaining stems and leaves are shredded and blown back onto the field, returning organic matter to the soil. Inside the harvester, golden soybeans rapidly accumulate in the grain tank. Once capacity is reached, an unloading arm extends outward, transferring the crop directly into trucks moving alongside the machine. With output rates of up to 45 tons per hour, each harvester transforms a harvest that once took days into a seamless, precise operation, a clear reflection of fully industrialized agriculture. In the 18th century, Europeans once believed tomatoes were poisonous because they belonged to the nightshade family. Today, in North America, this once shunned plant has become the red gold of modern agriculture, generating enormous economic value. In August, tomato fields enter their busiest period of the year, as harvesting is no longer a manual task, but a precisely mechanized process. Once a nightmare for farmers due to simultaneous ripening, high fragility, and the difficulty of manual picking, tomatoes are now handled by machines rather than human labor. As the harvester moves into the rows, the front conveyor lowers and slides neatly beneath the canopy, lifting entire clusters instead of tearing them from the vines. Immediately after, a calibrated vibration system activates, strong enough to detach ripe fruit from the stem while preserving firmness and internal structure. At the rear of the machine, a powerful yet controlled airflow blows away leaves and small branches, leaving a stream of uniformly ripe tomatoes moving forward. Green or damaged fruit is automatically removed on the machine, without human handling. On the main conveyor, tomatoes flow continuously like a living material, red, uniform, and unbroken. In just 1 hour, a single machine can harvest up to 15 tons, transforming what was once a chaotic harvest season into a streamlined, fast, and highly precise operation, much like a factory production line. Although the pine family includes more than 120 species, only a small fraction is exploited industrially in 3 main directions: resin pines used for engineering materials, nut-producing pines that yield high-value fatty seeds, and Christmas pines, trees cultivated primarily for the holiday season and rarely involved in modern industrial supply chains. Yet beyond their economic value, pine trees possess a survival mechanism that continues to astonish scientists. Many species not only survive wildfires, they actually depend on fire to regenerate. Extreme heat causes pine cones to snap open, releasing seeds onto mineral-rich ash, where a new generation can take root. This very mechanism is why forestry authorities in the United States and Canada practice controlled burns, simultaneously triggering natural regeneration and reducing the risk of catastrophic wildfires. And fire is not the only force pine trees have learned to defy. Time itself is another. In California's White Mountains, the Methuselah pine, a bristlecone pine, has lived for more than 400 to 800 years. Long before the Egyptian pyramids were built, it had already taken root on barren, rocky slopes, enduring to this day as one of the oldest living witnesses in human history. Every Christmas season, tens of millions of pine trees are brought into living rooms, shopping centers, and public squares around the world. But have you ever wondered where these trees come from and how they are harvested before appearing in your home? The harvesting of Christmas trees is far from random. Only trees that have undergone 7 to 15 years of growth, reached standard height, developed even foliage, and achieved a well-balanced shape are selected. Long before harvest, they are regularly pruned over many years to shape their form, ensuring that each tree offered for sale stands straight, full, and symmetrical. When the harvest season begins, workers use handsaws or chainsaws to cut the trees close to the base. The felling process is carried out with great care to avoid breaking branches or disturbing the canopy, as even a small mistake can significantly reduce a tree's market value. Once cut, the trees are gathered and transported out of the fields by hand, small trailers, or conveyor systems. On large-scale farms or in difficult terrain, helicopters are used to lift bundled trees from the fields to collection points, saving time and minimizing ground damage. At the processing area, the trees are fed through net wrapping machines. This mesh tightly compresses the branches, preserving the tree's shape throughout transport while also reducing needle loss. After netting, the trees are slid into cardboard cartons to secure their form, protect the branches, and prepare them for shipment ahead of the Christmas season. From a tree that quietly grew for decades in the forest, the Christmas pine enters your home as a symbol of the holiday season. Yet behind the twinkling lights and festive decorations lies a harvesting and logistics process that is meticulously organized and executed with precision at every step. Across the vast industrial pine plantations spanning hundreds of thousands of hectares in the southeastern United States, the resin harvesting season runs steadily for 8 months each year, a rhythm that has remained nearly unchanged for centuries. The process begins with the selective scraping of the outer bark to create a stable surface for subsequent operations. Workers then use a resin axe, a specialized tool with a square head and beveled blade designed specifically for opening resin channels, to make a slanted cut about 4 millimeters deep, just enough to reach the resin-conducting layer beneath the bark. This precise depth triggers the tree's natural defense mechanism, forcing resin outward to seal the wound while preserving the structural strength of the wood core. Next, the flat side of the axe is used to form a horizontal lip, a guiding edge that secures the collection spout and directs the resin along a controlled path. As soon as the groove and guide are formed, milky white resin begins to seep out under internal pressure, traveling along the grain of the trunk and flowing downward by gravity. In the initial stage, the resin is collected in open cups to monitor flow rate and minimize contaminants. Once the flow stabilizes, the system transitions to collection bags pressed closely against the trunk, reducing air exposure and controlling oxidation before the resin is sent for distillation. Every 5 days, the cut surface is delicately refreshed to maintain resin pressure without exhausting the tree. With this approach, each pine yields an average of only about 3 kilograms of resin per year, yet it can be tapped continuously for decades. At the scale of millions of trees, precision in every small cut has transformed pine resin into a renewable annual resource, rather than one extracted at the cost of forest decline. And now, we arrive at the main character of today's story, the raw material behind those golden drops of pine oil. In traditional pine forests, pine nuts are still harvested entirely by hand. When cones have fully matured and dried naturally, they detach from the branches and fall to the forest floor, turning the woods into a scattered trove of riches. Harvesters walk through the forest, picking up dry cones from the ground and selecting only those that remain intact, free from moisture damage or insect infestation. This is a slow method, but one that preserves the full quality of the seeds inside. For cones that have not yet fallen, harvesters must climb the trees themselves and hand-pick them directly from the branches. The work demands experience and precision, as pine trunks are tall, slick, and sparsely branched. Each cone is gently twisted off to avoid injuring the branch, ensuring the tree can continue producing cones in future seasons. Each hectare of wild forest yields only about 400 kilograms of cones, equivalent to roughly 60 kilograms of raw seeds, and this output can fluctuate significantly under harsh weather conditions. In return, pine nuts accumulate an oil content of up to 60 to 70%, rich in unsaturated fatty acids, a nutritional profile that gives them exceptional value. Meanwhile, in large-scale, cultivated pine plantations, the key to dramatically higher productivity lies in mechanized harvesting systems. Trunk shakers equipped with hydraulic gripping arms clamp firmly around the lignified trunk, transmitting precisely calibrated vibrations into the canopy. This causes cones that have reached physiological maturity to fall simultaneously, allowing entire plantation blocks to be harvested in just a few days. However, full mechanization is limited for younger trees or plots undergoing genetic improvement. In these cases, harvesting crews rely on lift platforms with reaches of up to 20 meters to access the upper canopy, combined with ground workers using long poles, approximately 9 meters in length, to selectively dislodge cone-bearing branches. While this approach delivers lower yields, it offers superior control over seed quality and preserves the tree's long-term growth structure. Yet harvesting is only half the story. The true value of pine begins to emerge when resin and seeds reach the factory, where even minutes of delay can lead to resin oxidation or a decline in oil quality within the kernels. At gum rosin production facilities, each batch of 20 to 50 tons of raw pine resin is fed into heated tanks to soften the material and reduce its viscosity, transforming it from a thick, sticky mass into a uniform liquid ready for further processing. From there, the pine resin is directed into distillation towers, where it is heated to temperatures of approximately 155 to 170 degrees Celsius. The lighter fraction with a lower boiling point, pine essential oil, vaporizes first, then is condensed and collected as turpentine. The non-volatile residue that remains is resin-rich in resin acids, the direct precursor to gum rosin. After distillation, the molten rosin is spread into thin layers and gradually cooled using water or forced air. This controlled, slow cooling process preserves the stable amber yellow color and minimizes brittleness or cracking between production batches. Once fully solidified, the gum rosin is cut into dense solid blocks weighing approximately 20 to 25 kilograms. These blocks are then graded based on clarity, color, and mechanical properties. From this point, lighter, acid-stable grades are directed into packaging adhesives and printing inks, while darker grades are allocated to rubber compounding, coatings, and heavy industrial materials. If pine resin enters the world of chemical industry, pine nuts follow a very different path. One focused on preserving the precious natural oil locked deep within the kernel, where even the slightest deviation can erase the highest value of this crop. At the start of this journey, whole pine cones are fed into multi-stage mechanical separation systems, where pressure, impact, and friction are precisely calibrated to break the hard woody shells without crushing the kernels inside. Husk and fibrous material are continuously removed, while the raw seeds fall onto conveyor belts. Once separated from the cones, the raw seeds enter vibrating sieves, combined with airflow, the first refining step in the processing chain. Here, high-frequency vibration keeps the seeds in constant motion, separating them from one another and from adhering debris. At the same time, upward air currents remove lighter impurities, fragmented shells, fine dust, wood fibers, and hollow seeds too light to remain on the sieve surface. Just before pressing, the seeds pass through low-friction dehulling machines, precisely calibrated to remove the woody shell without damaging the oil-rich kernels. After flow separation, only about 70% of the seeds meet the required size and hardness standards and are retained for cold pressing. The remainder is discarded to safeguard oil quality. At the most anticipated stage, the kernels are cold-pressed in small batches at temperatures not exceeding 40 degrees Celsius, preventing lipid degradation and preserving the oil's natural molecular structure. The resulting pale gold oil is then pre-filtered and immediately bottled in glass containers to minimize exposure to light and oxygen. On average, 100 kilograms of pine nut kernels yield only 55 to 65 kilograms of oil, placing liquid pine gold among the most expensive vegetable oils in the world, far surpassing sunflower, peanut, and even extra virgin olive oil. Yet for those concerned about weight gain and cardiovascular health, pine nut oil is a particularly compelling choice. It is rich in phenolenic acid, a compound known to promote satiety, help lower cholesterol, and significantly reduce post-meal blood lipid levels, easing the burden on the heart when the body processes high-fat intake. The first stop on our journey takes us to the endless banana plantations of Mindanao, Philippines. Stretching across more than 500,000 hectares, this is where millions of tons of the world-famous Cavendish bananas are grown. At around 16 months old, the bananas are harvested while still green, timed perfectly so that they ripen just as they reach consumers. Harvesting is done in pairs. One worker trims the leaves and cuts the stalk with a sharp knife, while the other carefully catches the heavy bunch to prevent bruising. Before that, each bunch is wrapped in a layer of plastic and cushioned between tiers to prevent scratches and slight premature ripening. A single bunch can weigh up to 50 kilograms, so farmers wear shoulder pads made from soft foam, specially designed to absorb up to 70% of the load pressure as they carry the fruit from the field. Because the work of harvesting bananas is so physically demanding, people came up with a solution both simple and ingenious. One that completely transformed how bananas travel from the plantation to the table, and helped elevate them to international export standards. Instead of carrying the heavy loads by hand, each banana bunch, weighing tens of kilograms, is hung on steel hooks that glide along the cable system, stretching nearly 20 kilometers. Using gravity-driven pulleys combined with small motors on the slopes, the system moves hundreds of bunches from the field to the collection station in just a few minutes, dozens of times faster than before. From a distance, the sight looks almost surreal. Rows of banana bunches gliding through the air like an endless green current, drifting gently toward their final stop, a resting station before the journey continues into the factory, where they're washed, sorted, cooled, and sent off to the world. Miyazaki mango, the premium variety from Japan's Miyazaki Prefecture, is world-renowned under the name Egg of the Sun. Each fruit must weigh at least 350 grams, have a sugar content above 15%, and possess a flawless, glowing red skin that looks as if it has absorbed the sun itself. When the mango reaches peak ripeness, it isn't picked in the usual way. instead of being cut from the stem. Each fruit is cradled in a small mesh net hung beneath the tree, waiting to drop naturally when perfectly ripe. The net acts like a gentle hammock, catching the mango mid-air to preserve its shape, texture, and delicate sweetness. Every step of the process, from greenhouse cultivation and hand selection of blossoms to light adjustment and net harvesting, is carefully monitored and documented. Only those that meet the strictest criteria earn the title Taiyo no Tamago before leaving the farm, often sold at auction for up to $660 per pair. So, would you be willing to pay that much to taste what's considered the ultimate expression of Japanese mango craftsmanship? Avocado is a familiar fruit to people all around the world, but growing and caring for it is far more demanding than for most other fruit trees. For avocado trees, the timing of harvest is just as important as cultivation techniques. Growers must closely monitor the fruit's maturity, typically 9 to 12 months after flowering, when the stem begins to dry and the skin turns a deeper shade of green. Workers harvest avocados entirely by hand, relying more on touch and experience than on strength. A twist that's too firm can tear the skin, too gentle, and the stem breaks in the wrong place, causing sap to leak and the flesh to darken quickly. For slightly taller trees, farmers use light aluminum poles fitted with small mesh bags at the tip to catch the fruit as it detaches, preventing it from hitting the ground. And for trees that reach over 6 meters high, hydraulic lifting platforms, extending up to 12 meters, allow workers to reach the upper branches without breaking them. The tree shaker is the secret weapon of modern plum orchards. Its steel arm grips the trunk firmly, then shakes it for a few seconds at a frequency of up to 400 revolutions per second, just enough to make thousands of ripe plums rain down onto the catching tarp below without damaging the branches or unripe fruit. In only a few seconds, a single tree can be completely harvested. From the large tarps, the plums are transferred directly onto conveyor belts, where they go through cleaning, sorting, and packing right in the field. Each tree shaker can harvest up to 60 tons of plums per day, working non-stop under the summer sun. With dozens of machines running together, the once tranquil orchard turns into a massive mechanized assembly line, where the rhythm of the harvest hums to the pulse of the machines instead of human hands. Alongside the trunk-clamping tree shakers, American farmers also use a specialized machine designed for low-trunk, narrow-canopy plum orchards, known as the canopy shaker. Its dual symmetrical rotor systems vibrate at a frequency of 6 to 10 Hz, transmitting gentle oscillations directly through the canopy to dislodge ripe fruit without breaking branches. Beneath the trees, a closed catching and conveyor system collects the falling plums, separates the leaves, and transfers the clean fruit straight into storage bins, turning each row of trees into a seamless moving harvest line. Coconut is one of the most challenging fruit crops to harvest. The trees can grow 10 to 25 meters tall, with slender trunks, wide canopies, and fruit clusters weighing 20 to 30 kilograms each. Harvesters must battle height, wind, scorching sun, and constant danger. A single misstep can be fatal. In the past, most farmers climbed straight up the trees bare-handed or with ropes, using a curved sickle to cut each cluster. The job demanded not just strength, but also remarkable balance and skill. Few could scale dozens of trees a day and still come down safely. Today, in many major coconut growing regions like Western Thailand, farmers have learned to harness the power of water to reduce risks and save labor. Instead of climbing, they use poles or ropes to cut coconuts, letting them fall directly into canals. Thanks to their thick, fibrous husks, the coconuts float naturally. Workers simply paddle along the rows, gathering the drifting fruits into large clusters and towing them back to shore. This method is safer, faster, and far less labor-intensive. A single worker can collect hundreds of coconuts a day without climbing a single tree. It's a simple yet brilliant approach, turning the waterways, once a challenge of the delta landscape, into a massive natural transport system where coconuts float gently downstream to the collection point. And from now on, if I tell you that one person can move a ton of coconuts a day, you'd probably believe me, wouldn't you? Bell peppers shine in a spectrum of colors, each with a unique taste. Green peppers are crisp and tangy, while yellow and orange bring a mild sweetness. Fully ripened red peppers are the softest and sweetest, packed with natural sugars. To thrive, bell peppers require warm temperatures, plenty of sunlight, and an ideal climate range of 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. From flowering to full ripeness, the plants take about 60 to 90 days to complete their growth cycle. This process isn't just dictated by nature, it's also the result of continuous advancements in cultivation techniques. Once the peppers reach their peak ripeness, they enter the most crucial stage, harvest. Across vast bell pepper fields, a massive harvesting machine rolls forward, orchestrating a seamless dance of mechanics and precision. A single modern harvester can collect up to 20,000 pounds of bell peppers per hour. As the machine moves in, its front conveyor lowers gently, guiding entire rows of peppers into the system. Instantly, a series of vibrating mechanisms shake the peppers loose from their stems, while powerful air jets blow away leaves and small branches. The peppers then travel along the main conveyor toward the sorting area. Here, a team of workers lines both sides, carefully inspecting each passing pepper. With swift hands, they remove any damaged, misshapen, or leaf-covered peppers that don't meet quality standards. Only the best peppers continue down the conveyor, where a long mechanical arm extends from the harvester's body. In a steady stream, the peppers cascade into a moving trailer running alongside the machine. On board, workers quickly arrange them into large storage bins, ensuring they are ready for the next stage of their journey. Alongside machine harvesting, some farms still rely on manual labor to pick bell peppers. While this traditional method is more time-consuming and labor-intensive, it ensures that each pepper is picked at peak ripeness and remains free from bruising, making it especially suitable for delicate, thin-skinned varieties or organically grown crops. Across the sprawling rows of plants, farmers move swiftly, bending down and carefully reaching through the lush green foliage to find peppers that meet the right standards. Using sharp pruning shears, or sometimes just a quick, skillful twist, they detach the peppers cleanly from the stems. Each worker stays focused on their assigned row, moving efficiently as they drop the peppers into collection bins lined along the field. Once a bin is full, they lift it and carry it to waiting trailers at the edge of the field, where the freshly picked peppers are loaded up for the next stage of their journey. With advancements in agricultural technology, bell peppers are no longer grown solely in open fields. They also thrive in high-tech greenhouses. Inside these controlled environments, workers move carefully along the rows, meticulously inspecting each plant to harvest only the peppers that have reached peak ripeness. They gently twist the stems or use sharp pruning shears to detach the peppers, ensuring the plants remain undamaged. The freshly picked peppers are then placed into collection bins that glide along rail tracks or wheeled carts, automatically transporting them to central sorting areas for further inspection and quality control. Some of the most advanced farms take efficiency even further with automated harvesting robots. Equipped with optical sensors and precision robotic arms, these machines can accurately determine the ripeness of each pepper. Once a suitable pepper is detected, the robot delicately snips the stem and places the fruit onto a specialized conveyor belt, sending it directly to the packing area. This minimizes bruising, optimizes the harvesting process, and enhances product quality. As the harvest wraps up, crates filled with vibrant red, yellow, and green peppers stack up, ready to continue their incredible journey to processing facilities and beyond. At the factory, bell peppers undergo a rigorous process where modern technology meets human precision to ensure optimal quality. Here they are sorted, processed, and carefully packaged, whether as fresh produce or canned goods, before making their way to consumers. Vibrant crates of bell peppers arrive directly from farms and are unloaded at the receiving area. Automated mechanical arms lift each crate, gently emptying the peppers onto the main conveyor belt. At this stage, the quality control team conducts an initial screening, removing any bruised, damaged, or pest-affected peppers that fail to meet appearance standards. Only firm, high-quality peppers continue the cleaning process. The selected peppers are submerged in large water tanks, where clean water or a mild sanitizing solution helps remove dirt, chemical residues, and harmful microorganisms. High-pressure nozzles then spray water from multiple angles to ensure a thorough cleanse. Next, the peppers pass through a set of soft, rotating brushes, which gently scrub away any remaining debris while enhancing their natural shine. Finally, an air drying system removes excess soil moisture, preparing the peppers for sorting. Once cleaned, the bell peppers move onto an automated sorting conveyor where they are classified by size, color, and overall quality. First, a guiding system arranges the peppers in neat rows on rolling conveyors. High-resolution optical sensors scan each pepper, precisely identifying its size and color. Then, an automated weighing system determines the exact weight of each pepper before mechanical pushers or small trapdoors redirect them to their respective sorting lanes. Some factories even employ AI to analyze shapes and detect minor imperfections invisible to the human eye. As a final checkpoint, workers manually inspect the sorted peppers to ensure that only the highest quality ones move forward to packaging. After sorting, the bell peppers are packed into various formats depending on market demands. For wholesale or export, peppers are stacked in ventilated cardboard or plastic crates to maintain freshness during transport. For retail markets, they are often packaged in plastic trays or shrink-wrapped bags to prevent bruising and extend shelf life. Each package is then labeled with key information, including origin, packing date, and quality standards, before being transferred to cold storage. Finally, the packaged peppers are shipped to supermarkets, grocery stores, or exported worldwide, ensuring consumers receive only the freshest, top-quality produce. Alongside fresh bell peppers, a portion of the harvest is processed into canned bell peppers for long-term preservation. For canning, once the peppers are thoroughly washed, they are sent to the trimming and cutting system, where their stems, seeds, and white cores are removed. The razor-sharp blades spin rapidly, gliding through each bell pepper with absolute precision, removing the stem and seeds in an instant. Under the control of an automated system, the process runs seamlessly, ensuring that every piece is neatly and uniformly cut, ready for the next stage of production. In some factories, manual workers still perform this step, using specialized cutting tools to swiftly remove the stems and cores. After trimming, the peppers move along the conveyor belt to the blanching system. Here, they are briefly immersed in hot water for a few seconds. This step helps maintain their bright color while inactivating enzymes that could cause spoilage, ensuring they are ready for the next stage of canning. The prepped peppers are automatically transferred into sterilized tin cans or glass jars. An automated pumping system precisely fills each container with a preservative solution, which helps retain the pepper's fresh taste and extends shelf life without artificial preservatives. Once sealed, the cans or jars undergo sterilization in a high-pressure steam retort at 230 to 275 degrees for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the packaging type. This process eliminates bacteria, prolonging the shelf life while preserving product quality. After sterilization, the canned peppers are cooled, then automatically stacked onto pallets, with protective padding between layers for stability. Once the required quantity is reached, the pallets are shrink-wrapped or secured before storage or shipment. Have you ever wondered how farmers grow those plump, vibrant bell peppers? Their journey begins on lush green farms, where tiny seeds sprout into thriving plants, stretching across vast fields or flourishing inside modern greenhouses. Bell peppers are typically started in seedling trays before being transplanted into the field, ensuring strong and healthy growth. The seeds are sown in nutrient-rich, moisture-retaining soil and kept in controlled temperatures between 77 to 82.4 degrees Fahrenheit to promote optimal germination. On expansive farmlands, a transplanting machine steadily moves along the well-prepared rows of soil. Behind the wheel, the operator carefully monitors the planting path, adjusting the speed for precise placement. A team of workers follows closely, swiftly placing the young bell pepper plants into the machine's feeder trays. Row by row, the seedlings are planted with remarkable precision, standing in neat, uniform lines. With advancements in agricultural technology, greenhouse cultivation has become an increasingly popular method, optimizing yields and enhancing crop quality. Inside the controlled environment, once the seedlings have matured, they are carefully spaced 16 to 20 inches apart to allow room for growth. After planting, a light layer of soil or growing medium is used to cover the roots, followed by immediate watering to aid in root establishment. To support their upward growth and prevent bending, trellis systems are installed, ensuring the plants grow tall and sturdy throughout their development. But our adventure doesn't end here. Get ready to turn up the heat as we dive into the fiery world of hot chili peppers, where every bite is a bold explosion of flavor.